Alright guys, Jambo, Karibu, welcome to my channel. My name is Chilanda and this is Library Without Borders. This video is gonna be a fun one. But before we even get into the content of this video, this is my birthday month. Yes, you guessed it, I'm a Virgo. Leave a green heart if you're Virgo just like me. The reason why I want to do this before my August TBR is simply because I want to see what's in this box. Maybe there's some books that I want to read for the month of August, especially for my birthday. Alright guys, without further ado, let's start unboxing. In no particular order. I cannot remember when I ordered some of these, but it doesn't matter. Let's just discover what books are in here. I'm gonna try my best to go through them as quickly as possible. What is this for? If I'm using my hands. This one. I mean, I've seen so many people talk about it and I was like, I have to get it. Like I said, I don't usually fall for the hype, but sometimes if it's a book that I know it's up my alley, I'll buy it. Ta-da! Fourth Wing. Okay. That's so cool. That's the first book that I just opened, right? By Rebecca Yarros. So many great reviews about it, so I can't wait to bring you my own review. I don't know when I'll be reading it, but we'll see. Next, guys, first, I actually got a book from an author, Joshua Hershey. He sent me a book, guys. Like, how cool is that? My first author who's sending me a book, so this is quite amazing. And I know this book because I actually saw it on Tangible Reads. Okay, this is nice. Linden Falls. Okay, I'm gonna read this. Oh, there's a paper here. Let me see. Oh, he sent me a note. Dear Romy, it's been a pleasure meeting you through YouTube and I hope you're having a great week. Thank you so much for your willingness to read my book, Linden Falls, which is available on Amazon and won the Epic category for the Brew Book Excellence Award. In addition, the book received a 5-star review from Reader's Choice. This review does a great job of summarizing the book, but the quick pitch is the following. An orphan and rumored witch named Mabel fights to end the darkness that enslaves her kingdom. There are a few biblical themes in the book. The one that I think resonates with readers the most is the pain that comes with feeling like God has let you down and not wanting to live. I like that. But in the end of the story, God saves the main character and shows her that he was there for her all along. If you'd like to listen to me discuss the book in more details, you can find me on a podcast called Outside the Panels on YouTube. Y'all heard this? All right, let's support Joshua Hershey. I'm gonna give it a read and I will tell you and my readers what I think about your book. So thank you for that. All right, this is from Indigo Chapters. Ha! Listen, look at this. It's Property, a novel. You guys, No, I saw lightning. Literally, it was so light outside and it's dark right now. That's how strong that lightning was. Y'all heard it. Yeah, I'm not joking. It's crazy out there. All right, so Property, a novel by Valerie Martin. Ooh, let's hear what this is about. I know why I bought this. I know. Valerie Martin's Property delivers an eerily mesmerizing inquiry into slavery's venomous effects on the owner and the owned. The year is 1828. The setting is Louisiana sugar plantation where Manon Godet, pretty, bitterly intelligent, and monstrously self-absorbed. We just lost power for like 2 minutes. Y'all saw that? Oh my gosh, I can't do this. I'm so terrified right now. Literally, I'm terrified. So, Manon Godet, pretty, bitterly intelligent, and monstrously self-absorbed, sees seed is under the dominion of her boorish husband. In particular, she resents his relationship with her slave Sarah, who is both his victim and his mistress. Exploring the permutations of Manon's own obsession with Sarah against the backdrop of an impending slave rebellion, Property unfolds with the speed and menace of heat lightning. Ha! Literally! Casting a startling light from the past upon the assumptions we still make about the powerful and the powerless. Y'all, excuse my reading, I'm a little shocked, okay? But we're gonna do this. Okay, so I'm excited to read this. Hold You Down, Tracy Brown. Now, I've seen a lot of booktubers, a lot of book talkers talk about this book, so I know I had to own it as well. So let's hear a little bit. It has always been just Mercy and Lennox Howard. Growing up on the mean streets of Harlem with an absentee mother meant that they had to have each other's back. Now young, smart mothers, they are determined to survive in New York City while raising their two sons, Dion and Judah, who have bright futures ahead of them. Mercy is the quiet, straight-laced hospital administrator struggling to make ends meet. At night and on weekends, she pours her heart into her cooking and her dream of owning her own restaurant. That's also one of my dreams. Lennox is the diva, the wild child looking for excitement and her big come up in life and love. Hey! Their boys have been raised more like brothers than cousins, forging a bond that is unbreakable. Yeah, it's like me and my sister. When Lennox heads down a path that she believes will bring success and power, it changes the entire course of her and her family's lives forever. As a result of their mother's choices, cousins Dion and Judah soon find themselves in uncharted territory. Okay, well, bound to be an adventure, a family adventure. Love one of those. Next. Praise Song for Butterflies. Now, I know this book. The reason why I got it, it's because Lex Reed raved about this book. So I know that I'm actually going to enjoy it. The way she spoke about this book, I knew I had to pick it up. It's one of those valuable items that needs to be on a shelf. So it's called Praise Song for the Butterflies. Abeo Kata lives a comfortable, happy life in West Africa as the privileged 9-year-old daughter of a government employee and stay-at-home mother. But when the Kata's idyllic lifestyle takes a turn of the worst, Abeo's father, following his mother's advice, places the girl in a religious shrine, hoping that the sacrifice of his daughter will serve as atonement for the crimes of his ancestors. I'm already hooked. Unspeakable acts befall Abeo for the 15 years she's held in the shrine. When she's finally rescued, broken and battered, she must struggle to overcome her past, endure the revelation of family secrets, and learn to trust and love again. Sign me up for all these traumatic events. Okay guys, so next. Okay. So, again, some of these books I read the storyline and I was like, okay, I'm interested in it. So this is The Scent of Burnt Flowers by Blitz Bazaoule. Fleeing persecution in 1960s America, a black couple seek asylum in Ghana, but old secrets and fresh dangers threaten their newfound freedom in this hypnotic debut novel. Okay, so Ghana and America. I can't wait to read this book. Isn't it beautiful? Just check this cover. And we have The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates. Oprah Winfrey. I haven't felt this way since I first read Beloved. It's right here. That's what Oprah Winfrey said. Okay. Hiram Walker is a man with a secret and a war to win. A war for the right to life, to family, to freedom. Born into bondage on a Virginia plantation, he is also born gifted with a mysterious power that he won't discover until he is almost a man. When he risks everything for a chance to escape, one fateful decision will carry him away from his makeshift plantation family into the heart of the underground war on slavery. Ooh! Yes, I'm excited to read this book. Y'all heard about this book? Because I have not seen on any of my booktubers that I follow. But I knew I was going to be interested in it, so I can't wait to pick this one up. Next we have If Beale Street Could Talk by James Baldwin. Now, I know La Rosa, I'll put her name somewhere here. I know she spoke about this, and the way she reviewed this book, I knew I had to have it. And I know there's a movie about it, which I have not watched yet, but I'm sure I will watch it. In this honest and stunning novel, James Baldwin has given America a moving story of love in the face of injustice, told through the eyes of Tish, a 19-year-old girl in love with Fawny, a young sculptor who is the father of her child. Baldwin's story mixes the sweet and the sad. Tish and Fawny have pledged to get married, but Fawny is falsely accused of a terrible crime and imprisoned. Their family set out to clear his name, and as they face an uncertain future, the young lovers experience a kaleidoscope of emotions, affection, despair, and hope. In a love story that evokes the blues, where passion and sadness are inevitably intertwined, Baldwin has created two characters so alive and profoundly realized that they are unforgettably ingrained in the American psyche. Ooh, that sounds lovely. Can't wait to pick that up. Ooh. Lisa Scottoline, and it's called Eternal. Yes, I know why I picked this book. It's lovely. It's a little messed up here, but we're gonna forgive that. Elizabeth, Marco, and Sandro grew up as best friends despite their differences. Elisabetta is a feisty beauty who dreams of becoming a novelist. Marco, the brash and athletic son in a family of professional cyclists, and Sandro, a Jewish mathematics prodigy. Their friendship ripens to romance, and both Sandro and Marco hope to win Elisabetta's heart. But in the autumn of 1937, Mussolini leads Italy down a dark path and enacts a barrage of anti-Semitic laws. World War II erupts, and all that Elisabetta and Marco and Sandro hold dear, their families, their homes, and their bond to one another, is tested in ways they could never have imagined. When the Nazis invade Rome, a shocking historical event decides the fate of the threesome once and for all. Unfolding over decades, Eternal is infused with love and betrayal, loyalty and loss, and family and food, set in one of the most iconic cities in the world. This novel resonates with the profound truth: what war destroys, only love can heal. Like, isn't that cute? But this book is bound to bring me in a roller coaster of emotions, and I can't wait to be engrossed in the story. Like, I'm excited to pick this one up. Okay guys, next we have Daughters of Jubilation. Now, I know Dee Ruxel talked about this book on her page, so I knew I had to pick it up. It's a very good story, the way she talked about it, so I'm really excited to dive in the story. In the Jim Crow South, white supremacy reigns and tensions are high, but Eveline Deschamps has other things to worry about. That's actually a French name. She has two little sisters to look after, an overworked single mother, and a longtime crush who is finally making a move. On top of all that, Evie's magic abilities are growing stronger by the day. Her family calls it Jubilation, a gift passed down from generations of black women since the time of slavery. And as her own magic continues to unlock, something dark comes loose and threatens to resurface. When the demons of Evie's past finally shake free, she must embrace her mighty lineage and summon the power that lies within her. Ooh, okay. I like that story about, ancestors, magic, and power. Beautiful. I can't wait to read this and give you my own review. Next, I bought this huge book. One, it was the cover that, I went for, but I've heard so much good things about this book as well. It is Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which reminds me I have to get the other one, the yellow one, the sequel to this book. You know what, guys, just to make sure that we get through all these books, I'm just gonna read you like little bits of what the story is about instead of me reading the whole synopsis, or we'll be here forever, which I don't mind. I love to spend time with you guys. So let's see. I'm not even trying to say this name. What's her name? Su Lin Tan. You couldn't find an easier name to give to your character? Sorry. Growing up on the moon, Xingyin is accustomed to solitude, unaware that she is being hidden from the feared celestial emperor who exiled her mother for stealing the elixir of immortality. But when Xingyin's magic flares and her existence is discovered, she's forced to flee her home, leaving her mother behind. The rest we shall find out, but I am already curious about what the story is about. I can't wait to dive in when the time comes. Olsen, Whitehead, Harlem Shuffle. I love the colors. Oh, look at the author. This is very interesting. Okay. To his customers and neighbors on 125th Street, Ray Carney is an upstanding salesman of reasonably priced furniture, making a decent living for himself and his family. Few people know he descends from a line of Harlem hoods and crooks, and that his facade of normalcy has more than a few cracks in it. Okay. Harlem Shuffle follows Ray through 3 different carpers in a greedy tour of the uptown underworld. In 1959, his cousin Freddie joins a crew who plan to rob the Hotel Teresa, the Waldorf of Harlem, and volunteers Ray's services as the fence. The heist doesn't go as planned. They rarely do. In 1961, a personal slight dispatches Ray on an unlikely and dangerous plan of revenge. And finally, our humble vendor of home goods must rescue a loved one from a scheme gone wrong with Harlem smolders in the aftermath of the 1964 race riots. Okay. See, I knew why I picked up these books, and I have yet to see any of my booktubers speak about them. But if you did, I'm sorry, but I'm interested. I can't wait to read this book. Next in this box, we have Mademoiselle Revolution. And I know why I picked this book. I know it's probably another thing about passing. Don't quote me on it. Let's just find out real quick. Sylvie de Rosier, which is a French name, I love that, as the daughter of a rich planter and an enslaved woman. See? I knew why I picked these books. I mean, I know me. I know why I picked these books. Enjoys the comforts of a lady in 1791 Saint-Domingue society. But while she was born to privilege, she is never fully accepted by island elites. After a violent rebellion begins the Haitian Revolution. Yes. Sylvie and her brother leave their family and old lives behind to flee unwittingly into another uprising in austere and radical Paris. Sylvie quickly becomes enamored with the aims of the revolution as well as with the revolutionaries themselves, most notably Maximilien Robespierre and his mistress Cornélie Duplay. You know, the queen herself, Vanessa Riley, yes. After reading Sister Mother Warrior, Island Queen, you know your girl had to pick this one. And here she is, the next queen. It's called Queen of Exiles by Vanessa Riley. I am in love with this author, the way she writes. And I think La Rosa again spoke about this book, and she showed how she has, yes, all these clippings of old newspapers in the book. So look at that. Ooh, that's very interesting. I can't wait to be immersed in the story of this particular queen. Beautiful cover too, plus it's purple. And then guys, I ordered this book because it's actually our book club pick. It's called Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. So the ladies picked this for our next read for our book club, and I'm excited to discover what it's all about. So I heard so many reviews and good reviews about this, and if he had been with me. Now again, I know I've seen a few booktubers talk about this, and some on my book talk rave about this book. Apparently it's like very emotional. Some people sobbed, cried, and had to call on their mamas, so we'll see what it's about. But just a little synopsis. Autumn and Finn used to be inseparable, but then something changed, or they changed. Now they do their best to ignore each other. Autumn has her boyfriend Jamie and her close-knit group of friends. Finn has become that boy at school, the one everyone wants to be around. That still doesn't stop the way Autumn feels every time she and Finn cross his path, and the growing, nagging thought that maybe things could have been different. Maybe they should be together. And as time passes, Autumn realizes she might not get another chance to make things right before it's too late. Okay, all right, I see. I'm not too sure about the hype, but like I said, I see. And just because of the name Autumn, I might keep this for fall. All right, next, guys, from the same box where If He Had Been With Me came in, we have The Things We Leave Unfinished. Now, I know I saw this book on Shaughnessy Schroeder. She's very big on romance books. So she talked about this, and it is, of course, by Rebecca Yarros, the author of Fourth Wing. So I was compelled to pick it up. Now, it is pretty thick. We shall find out what the book is about eventually. Anyways, ooh, we got some goodies in here. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Okay, let's see. So, first off, The Marriage Act. Now, why did I ever pick this book? The Marriage Act by John Morris. Oh, okay. What if marriage was the law? Dare you disobey? Oh. Britain, the near future. A right-wing government believes it has the answer to society's ills, the Sanctity of Marriage Act, which actively encourages marriage as the norm, punishing those who choose to remain single. Oh! Now, this is a different turn of events. I like that concept. But 4 couples are about to discover just how impossible relationships can be when the government is monitoring every aspect of our personal lives, monitoring every word, every minor disagreement, and will use every tool in its arsenal to ensure everyone will love, honor, and obey. Oh my God! What a concept! I am here for it. I am here for it. So, No Crystal Stare. Oh. Okay, now I know I picked this book. I didn't see it on anyone's BookTube channel, but let's just hear a little bit from it. First published in 1997, No Crystal Stare is an absorbing story of urban struggle in the 1940s. Raising her 3 daughters alone, Marion discovers she can only find gainful employment if she passes as white. Ah, voila. Set in the Montreal working class neighborhood of Little Burgundy. Okay, now I know why I picked this book. 1, the passing aspect, and Montreal, it being a city in my country, Canada. So, whoa, I am here for it. Against the backdrop of an exciting cosmopolitan jazz scene, home of Oscar Peterson, Oliver Jones, and Rockhead's Paradise, and the tense years of World War II. No Crystal Stare is both a tender story of friendship and community, as well as an indictment of Canada's soft racism. I'm here to discover stories about the hidden racism that lives or lies in Canada. So I'm pretty excited to pick this one up. And in this other box, we have, and I know when I chose these books, they were on sale. I recall they were really really good price. So this is Josephine Baker's Last Dance by Sherry Jones. Isn't she pretty? Can you see her? There she is. Discover the fascinating and singular life story of Josephine Baker, actress, singer, dancer, civil rights activist, member of the French Resistance during World War II, and a woman dedicated to erasing prejudice and creating a more equitable world in Josephine Baker's Last Dance. I love this, and did you guys notice, if you followed me throughout the length of this video, that I have a few books that are set in World War II? Again, I don't do it on purpose, but I feel like there's a common denominator in all of my books. World War II, passing, some blacks, abolition. Okay. Can't wait to discover Josephine Baker. And then, lastly in this box, we have Thread Collectors by Shauna J. Edwards and Allison Richmond. Look at that. This is beautiful. In a small Creole cottage in New Orleans, a young black woman named Stella embroiders intricate maps on repurposed cloth to help enslaved men flee and join the Union Army. Ooh. Bound to a man who would kill her if he knew of her clandestine activities, Stella has to hide not only her efforts but her love for William, a black soldier and a brilliant musician. Oh yes, I'm intrigued. Meanwhile, in New York City, a Jewish woman stitches a quilt for her husband, who is stationed in Louisiana with the Union Army. Between abolitionist meetings, Lily rolls bandages and crafts quilts with her sewing circle for other soldiers too, hoping for their safe return home. But when months go by without word from her husband, Lily resolves to make the perilous journey south to search for him. Oh, lady, I shall be there through that journey with you. Okay. All right, I'm excited to pick this story. You guys are intrigued or what? Very curious about this story. The Girl with the Louding Voice. This, I can tell you right away, it's gonna be in my August TBR. Now, the reason why I even picked up this book, the first person who actually recommended this book is one of my subscribers, and I will put her name here somewhere, even the comment. She suggested to read this book, but mostly to listen to it. And guys, I started listening to it. I was dying and crying. The accent is absolutely funny, and the way the English is like spoken, I am enamored with this book, and I can't wait to tell you more about The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abi Dari. She is an upcoming author. I must give praise for this author. Like, I've already listened to a good amount of this book, and I'm in love. So please pick this book if you haven't. Okay, I know I picked this book. It's V.S. Naipaul Verses or V.S. Naipaul. It's right here, and it's A Bend in the River. V.S. Naipaul, that's the author. It's called A Bend in the River. In this novel, V.S. Naipaul takes us deeply into the life of one man, an Indian who, uprooted by the bloody tides of third world history. Again, my gosh, why did I go on this whole thing about the World War? Okay, I don't know, guys. Has come to live in an isolated town at the bend of a great river in a newly independent African nation. Naipaul gives us the most convincing and disturbing vision yet of what happens in a place caught between the dangerously alluring modern world and its own tenacious past and traditions. Okay, I know. That's why I picked it up. Oh, look at these people. These beautiful Africans. Aren't they lovely? Love them. The Romantic Agenda by Claire Kahn. I know Dee talked about it and a couple other booktubers, so I'm excited to discover what this book is about. And then I picked The Secret Book, Flora Lee. I know I picked this book for a reason, outside of the cover, okay? And outside of the fact that it says The Secret Book, I know it's here because of something intriguing. So that's why I picked it up. The unthinkable happens when Flora suddenly vanishes after playing near the banks of the river Thames. Shattered, Hazel blames herself, carrying her guilt into adulthood. 20 years later, Hazel is back in London, ready to move on from her job as a cozy, rare bookstore to a career at Sotheby's. But her tidy life is turned upside down when she unwraps her package containing a picture book called Whisperwood and the River of Stars. Hazel never told a soul about the fairy tale world she created just for Flora. Could this book hold the secrets to her disappearance? Well, there you have it, a mystery. I know I haven't done a lot of book reviews on mystery books, but I will. Then, ooh, a right-worthy woman. I bet it's about passing. Look at this. With single-minded determination, Maggie buckles down and elevates herself from school teacher to right-worthy Grand Secretary of the Independent Order of St. Luke. Finally in a position to effect major change, Maggie sets a plan in motion to establish the St. Luke Penny Savings Bank to help the people of Jackson Ward turn their nickels into dollars, and so much more, all while she juggles motherhood and marriage. But with every economic stride, Maggie and her community make the experience more and more ire from their white neighbors, and the resulting threats of violence begin to draw ever closer to her family's home. An inspiring and thought-provoking novel based on the remarkable true story of Maggie Lena Walker, the first black woman to establish and preside over a bank in the United States, whose action transformed her community of Jackson Ward into Virginia's Black Wall Street. Well, there you have it. That's why I picked it up. You ready? Okay, let's find out. So we have the autobiography of a female slave, Martha Griffith Brown. In a compelling novel that is so strongly grounded in reality, it is hard to believe it is fiction. Martha Griffith Brown tells the harrowing life story of Anne, a woman born into slavery and forced to undergo untold hardships. And then I have in their own voices, first-hand stories of formerly enslaved people. Look, it's a bunch of books inside. This is nice. And it was only $15. You see, it was only $15. So, I feel like I showed you Frederick Douglass in one of my videos before. So that means I might have to give this away. But this is nice. I don't want to open it. It's so lovely. Oh, I might just leave it there. Next, we have 9 Days, Martin Luther King Jr.'s life and win the 1960 election by Stephen Kendrick and Paul Kendrick. Can't wait to learn more about the story. And then I have Awesome Woman Word Search. Look at that. Puzzles inspired by women who changed the world. I like this. It's a puzzle book. It is The Kennedy Hares, John, Carolyn, and the New Generation, a legacy of tragedy and triumph. Look at them, they're so young. Aww. Life's gone too soon. J. Randy Taraborelli. Okay. Lastly, guys, I discovered bookoutlet.com. Now, I thought it was only for people in the United States. Come to discover, Canadians can also order from bookoutlet.com, and it came really quick. We have Bitter, Aquake, Amazi. Nice quality. Okay, it's not short, it's short. Praise for Pets. Either I saw it on D. Ruxel's page or somewhere on my book talk. But it was a good review, which made me buy the book. So, I can't wait. In a beautiful color. Look, she pretty. This, I just chose it myself because there was a black on the book, on the cover, so I had to pick it up, naturally. And it is A Song of Wrath and Ruins. So after going through Blood and Bone, the sequel and Blood of Virtue and Vengeance, I decided that, you know, I was gonna stay in the same theme and maybe find other books within that same kind of category of books. And I saw this one and I was like, why not? So I'm excited to discover this book. I think it's one book. I'm not sure that I don't think it's a sequel. I don't think so. I think it's just a standalone book. Next, I have this small book. It's actually very tiny, but the reason why I picked it up was because of the girl. She's wearing an African attire. So I was like, why not? And then it said a princess in theory. So Prince Tabiso is the sole heir to the throne of Tesolo, shouldering the hopes of his parents and his people at the top of their list. His marriage, ever dutiful, he tracks down his missing betrothed. When Naledi mistakes the prince for a pauper, Tabiso can't resist a chance to experience life and love without the burden of his crown. I know it had some African theme in it, so I was curious to discover the whole African with prince and princess and that good stuff. So that's why I picked it up. We have The Diplomat's Daughter. I love this story. I'm very intrigued. I know that's why I picked it up. It's by Karine Tanabe. I don't think this is a Karen. I don't think you can Karen Tanabe. And just a little bit of the story. When Emmy and her mother are abruptly sent back to Japan, Christian enlists in the U.S. Army with his sights set on the Pacific front, and he hopes a reunion with Emmy, unaware that her first love, Leo Hartmann, the son of the wealthy Austrian parents and now a Jewish refugee in Shanghai, may still have her heart. Fearful of bombings in Tokyo, Emmy's parents sent her to a remote resort town in the mountains. Cut off from her family, struggling with growing depression and hunger, Emmy repeatedly risks her life to help keep others safe, all while wondering if the two men she loves are still alive. Oh, I sense some drama. Now, how you gonna choose, girl? Why do you put yourself in such position? Oh my gosh. That's why I picked it up. The drama that's gonna unfold. And then next, we have 3 more books and then we're done. Donna Hill, Confessions in B flat. It's a civil rights love story. There you have it. That's why I picked it up. We have this cute story. I thought it was cool, like Asian and black. Love that interracial mix there. It's her. Look. So, Spencer Pham has come home after 12 soul-sucking years in corporate hell to pursue his passion, making a docufilm on his family's history as the first Vietnamese Mardi Gras Creway. The last thing he expects is to get whacked in the head by a beautiful woman trying to snag some parade beads. He offers to show her the real New Orleans if she'll help him with the camera work for his film. Despite Josie's type A personality clashing with Spencer's laissez-faire attitude, they seem to make a great team, and so the good times are rolling both on and off camera. But Josie has a life in DC, and they both have big dreams they're chasing. It's a cute story. I shall see, but like, look at the little mask there. It's pretty. Mardi Gras. And then second last, it is Relations, an anthology of African and diaspora voices. You know, I had to pick it up. You know, when there's an African girl on the cover, I'ma pick it up. It's by Nana Ikua Brew Hammond. In this powerful anthology, writers hailing from, based in, or moving between Botswana, Canada, Chad, Cote d'Ivoire, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, yes, we made it! Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, the Gambia, Ghana, Jamaica, Kenya, Libya, Nigeria, Sao Tome and Principe, Senegal, South Africa, Sudan, Togo, Uganda, the UK and the US, Western Sahara, Zambia, and Zimbabwe explore one of the most fundamental aspects of our existence, relationships. I'm here for it. I am here for it. And lastly, Stacey Abrahams, writing as Selena Montgomery. Rules of Engagement. Yo, I'm digging the red. And the girl on the cover, I'm digging it. Dr. Riley Foster, unoperative for a top secret intelligence organization, knows that her undercover work has its risks. She doesn't hesitate when she's asked to infiltrate Scimitar, the terrorist group that has stolen lethal environmental technology. But when she's assigned a partner, brooding, sexy Adam Grayson, to pose as her lover, Riley discovers that the most dangerous risk of it all is falling in love. There. That says it all. That's why I picked it up. Alright guys, let me just show you the pile. You can't see it. So let's just do the count. 1, 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. And then I'll count that one big box as 39. Yeah, 39 books. Alright guys, there you have it. That was my massive book haul. I think that would be enough for this year. What do you think? A book ban? Oh, okay. Just so you know, mental health is very important. So banning books that are important for someone's mental health, not a good idea. Okay? Alright guys, on this note, I'm gonna leave you. I hope you guys are taking care of yourself, and I will see you in my next video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share, you know? Bye!